Hey guys, it's Shadow here bringing you another battle. This is actually a Uber's battle if you haven't told by if you couldn't tell from the screen right now. And now reason why is like in this type of recording screen or whatever why there's black lines on the ends is because my screen recorder is being stupid and I don't feel like going back and fixing it because that takes way too long of my time. And I'd rather just give you guys a battle right now instead of delaying. So anyway, gonna lead off with my Groudon, basically just get the sun up. Now what I was thinking is he's not gonna go for Seed Flare or any type of grass move, he's probably gonna predict the switch, and it turns out he actually goes with the Seed Flare and actually kills off my Groudon right away. Now I don't know if he faced up against people that probably assumed that he wasn't gonna go with the Seed Flare right off the bat, or he just didn't want to over predict. I don't know the story behind that, but I ended up losing my Groudon in the beginning, which kind of sucks because I felt like that I could have used it later on in the battle. It probably would have helped me. Instead, now I have to use 5 Pokemon to go up against 6 now, so. Now he's going to switch out and go into his Kyogre. I did just go with the Draco Meteor predicting the switch, or if he wanted to stay in, it still would have hit it hard. So that's basically my whole type of plan and area in that situation. And because I can't really do anything to well, I could have went with the Outrage and tried to kill it off. Oh wait, no, I'm Scarfed, that's why. If I wasn't Scarfed, then I probably would have went with the Outrage and just killed it off in that range, but because I am Scarfed, I am going to need to switch out and go into my Giratina, because whatever this Kyogre wants to do, it probably won't hurt me in the least, because I am specially defensive, max HP, so that's the reason behind that. And now, I did kind of speed this part up a little bit, if you can't tell. I don't know if you could or not, I don't know. But it's basically just a Kyogre going up against my Giratina without it being able to do really anything, because that looks like a 4-hit KO with Ice Beam, so I'm alright. I'm sitting pretty, I guess. And so I'm just going to kill it off, and luckily I did get fatigued right here, so I am just going to need to switch out next turn because I don't feel like taking anything from this Groudon, because I am specially defensive and most Groudons carry physically attacking moves. Some carry mixed sets. I don't know any that do, but some do, so whatever. Gonna bring in Lugia basically just to take any real physical attacking move because I am impish, max HP. So that's actually what I do, but it turns out he actually has the Thunder Wave on it. Excuse me. And then he has Swords Dance, which is actually very hazardous, but if I can wear it down enough, bring something in to actually hurt it, then I could probably do something else. I did have Ice Beam on this, but I probably should have done is instead of going for Toxic, I probably should have went with the Ice Beam, because that seems way more better. So that's probably what I should have done, because I am just gonna go with Toxic right here. So instead of getting like absolutely no damage or waiting for damage to happen or trying to force him out for some reason, I should have just went with the Ice Beam because I do have it. I don't know why I'm saying Ice Beam instead of like Ice Beam a whole bunch of times now, because I need to stop. Now, he is just gonna kill me off here because he's at +2, and even with my max HP and max max defense, it still will not take Stone Edge from a Groudon if it has max attack. So that's the thing, and I'm sticking to it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my Rayquaza, and I actually made some really stupid plays in this match. You're going to see. I go into my Rayquaza, and instead of going for Draco Meteor or Outrage, which I know that I have, or even Extreme Speed, I decided to go with Fire Blast because maybe it will do a little bit more in the sun. So only takes down half. So well, it would have barely took down half. It wouldn't even break half if it was at full health. So basically that's what I'm trying to say. And he's end up going to bring me down to my Sash with the Stone Edge, so that is gonna be messed up. So now I've broken my Sash when I could have used it later on in the battle, and now I'm just gonna kill him off with the Draco Meteor, what I should have done before. Mind you, I should have done it before, and instead I didn't do it because it probably would have been a 2-hit KO. So yeah, that's about it. I probably could have just went with Outrage or something. I don't know. I should have done something else besides Fire Blast. Now what I should have done here is instead of keeping my Rayquaza in basically to die, what I should have did is that I went into my Giratina just to take the hit or take no damage from the Extreme Speed, since I know that it was very obvious. and instead I go into my Giratina now, and thinking that he might have Shadow Claw, and probably thinking that it won't be able to kill me from this range of health. I do just go with the Will-O-Wisp, but instead he shows me that he has Shadow Force, which is very, 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 very messed up to have. So it puts more pressure on my side of the team. So basically what I'm gonna have to do is go into my Darkrai, basically to die, and probably see what I can do to this thing. And he actually just goes with the extreme speed. I was thinking this is gonna kill me off because I don't have any real defense investment or HP investment, whatever. I don't have the stuff. But instead it leaves me at 24, and I end up getting off a trick, which makes him stay in, which makes him can't get it out, which makes him stay locked in to extreme speed. So now I get to go into Giratina, and this is probably what I should have done with my Rayquaza, is go into my Giratina as soon as it did this. So that would have been a lot better, and then been able to get off a rest. Now instead of getting off a rest right here and getting back most of my health to take any more future attacks, what I end up doing is that I end up going for the Will-O-Wisp. Again, not the smartest play, but it could have been a lot more better. So that's what I'm trying to say. Since Darkrai is in the game right now, I know that the Dark Void is coming, so what I should have done was I should have stayed in, since I do have Sleep Talk. And then I probably would have got off the Sleep Talk on the same turn that he went with the Dark Void. But instead what I wanted to do is that I went in the Darkrai, basically to take the Dark Void and probably rebuttal with something else later. But then I forgot about Bad Dreams, because I was thinking maybe I can use Darkrai as a sleep fodder since it's at such low health and I kind of don't need him anymore. But then I forgot about Bad Dreams, which is going to take me out from that range. And then now I'm just going to have to bring in my Restroom. Now what I could have done here was I could have went with the Outrage or the Draco Meteor, you know, something, or rather around that factor. But instead I go with the Blue Flare, which is not the best play because he still has a Dragon type on his team. Now probably what I should have done was I probably should have stayed in and tried to get some damage on it with the Blue Flare, and then, well, never mind, no, that's stupid. I switched out. I probably should have just went with Draco or Outrage. This is one of those situations again. Instead I went with Blue Flare because I know that would do a lot more because it's in the sun, but I probably shouldn't have done that. And now Giratina has to take an Earthquake and then a Dragon Claw on this same turn because I can't outspeed. Now what I was probably thinking is that I probably should have went with the Will-O-Wisp, but instead he outsped me. And still, what I thought is that I should have went for the rest when Arceus switched out, so I can get some more health for future damage, and that's where it kind of cost me at. And then now my last Pokemon is Reshiram, and he still has 3 more Pokemon to go, so that's pretty much a great game right there. So I can't really do anything. He's just gonna go with extreme speed, and I am just gonna go with the Outrage now, because it's kind of too little too late to go with Outrage. And then here is where, if I wouldn't have tricked him, if I probably would have went for the Dark Void instead, not Dark Void, yeah, Dark Void, and then, yeah, Dark Void, so I don't know what I'm saying. If I probably would have went for the Dark Void and then switched out and then went with Dark Pulse on this Arceus, then I probably would have been able to put it to sleep and then hit it hard with something that's coming in next turn. But instead he shows me that he has Earthquake, and the trick kind of bites me on the ass, so that's the game right there. So that was pretty much a good game, so hope we can battle again. Again, this is a Noobers battle. I forgot the guy who I battled, but anyway, this is Shoutification signing out.